What's up, my friends? Welcome back to another vlog. I'm just waking up here this morning on another hot, what would seem like summer day, but it's actually fall. It's been officially fall for about a few days now, I think. Yeah, it's just hot as ever around here. It's literally unbelievable. The heat outside, it's almost like walking into an oven. It's like summer is just back to bite Maine one more time before it gets out of here. But it's been miserable. You can see, actually, I'm just looking at myself in the camera. Like, you can see how bright it is outside. I actually don't even need any studio lights today. I just have the sunlight coming in through my skylight here because it is so bright and so hot out. And I'm so sick of it. You know, I do a lot of walking. I'm a walker and I'm a busser. And it's just so infuriating sometimes, really. It's stressful is what it is. Just like to be walking through the heat and just to be pouring sweat and trying to keep the sun off your body and trying to stay out of it. And it's just so humid and, oh my God, it's been miserable. But, anyway, I'm just waking up here. I just woke up a few hours ago, obviously before work. I'm about to head out to work in a little bit, but what I wanted to share with you guys today is basically what I've been working on for the past couple of days and what I'm going to be starting work on officially here in about a day or so. You know, one of the reasons I've been so busy and so kind of scarce from YouTube on all my channels is because, you know, I'm really, really busy at work, of course. But also because I had a business lunch with my grandmother about a week ago now, and this business lunch, I mean, you know, it's always a get-together. It's not like an official business lunch, you know. It's always a nice get-together with, you know, her. And my mother came up also, and it was my grandmother and my uncle Ray. And we all went out to dinner, and, you know, we discussed, you know, politics like we always do, even though I try to stay out of it. I try to stay out of it, you know, because they don't really follow politics anymore. But we were mainly there to discuss her book, because as many of you guys know from, I've discussed a couple of times on my other channels that, you know, I am sitting down, finally buckling myself down and writing my grandmother's memoirs. Aside from my music and my art, my writing is really a huge aspect of my life. It is a massive part of my life. I've been writing as long as I've been playing music. I normally write in the fantasy genre, but I thought it was time to write my grandmother's memoirs. This is an appropriate time to write her memoirs right now. I mean, you know, we've got so much going on in the world. You know, they always say that history repeats itself, and you know, it's true. It really is true. I'm just going to refocus my camera here, recenter my camera a little bit because I don't want it to be on my computer. I just realized my camera is like focused on my computer here. But yeah, you know, it's an appropriate time to do it because we live in, a lot of people would consider this very, very troubling times to be living in right now. And it's an appropriate time for me to tell her history of, you know, going back through, you know, we're talking about, you know, she was born in 1918. So she lived through the Great Depression, she's lived through World War I, World War II, all major world events that happened. She has lived through up until this day, and there are major world events still going on to this day, and she's still alive and kicking, 99 years old. She looks like she's 75. People ask her what her secret is all the time. And she's just an amazing woman, and she's got a lot to talk about. She's really got a lot to talk about. It's amazing. And what she's done is she's finally put it down. I just wanted to kind of, you know, quickly share some of this stuff with you guys today that I've been working on. She's finally put down all of her thoughts. These are her memoirs. You know, you can see here is. This is her notebook that she's been keeping for some time, and these are just pages and pages and pages of her history. Going back, I mean, you know, there's stuff from the 1930s, some stuff from the 1920s even, from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. She's just like cataloged basically like all major memories, like all memories that she wants to put down, that she thinks are significant enough to put down. She's cataloged all of these in this this notebook here, which is just amazing. It's just stunning when you think about it, because think about how much history you can learn from just reading someone's memoirs. Someone that remembers vividly what happened back in the day, and she does. And I have that gold right here in that notebook, and I want to write this book because it's like I said, it's an appropriate time for people to read this. It's an appropriate time for people to be really delving back into the Great Depression and both the world wars, because we're basically on the verge of another world war right now, with all this craziness that's happening. So it's an appropriate time to read this history, and not just history, regular history in and of itself, but this is women's history. This is women's history. It's very, very important to bring this to the forefront right now. And I'm very excited to do it, because part of the fun really of doing this is, I'm not a history nerd, but I like to consider myself kind of like, I have a general strong interest in history, you could say. So whenever I'm around history, like one of my favorite classes, my favorite class ever actually, that I took at my community college was my main history class. I'm a history entrepreneur, if you will. I'm starting my own venture here in my own history, if you will, my family's history. I get to look through all this stuff. She has just, relics from the past. I mean, look at this. Breed Junior High School, Lynn, Massachusetts, right? Lynn is where my family's from, Lynn, Massachusetts. This is my grandmother's junior high school diploma. Junior high school diploma. It's just so cool, and she's got stuff stuck in here everywhere. War and Navy departments, post office there. You can see the postmark on that. I know, let's see if we get a close-up on that. See the postmark on that, 1945, from the, just a letterhead from the War and Navy departments. And yeah, my grandmother's middle school diploma. Check that out, middle school. And I mean, she's just got all this cool stuff, and she's got, she's even saved like pins, like significant pins. Like, check this out right here. That's an original John Kennedy pin. That's from like 1960. That's an original Kennedy pin. Original Kennedy pin. And it's the same thing for McCarthy. She's got one from McCarthy here too. You guys can see, original. These are original pins from back in the day. And then she's just got this stuff right here, which is my absolute favorite. First of all, I'll start off by showing you. These are some. My grandmother used to work for GE during the during World War II. Of course, what she did was she testing. It's written right here by my grandfather. He drew. These are hand-drawn pictures of my grandmother, and this is my grandmother testing generators for World War II planes in the GE factories. And it's a shame that these aren't photographs. We lost. So much of our photographs that we had in our family history actually burned down in a fire in Greenville, New Hampshire. That was our original family house, and we lost so much information and so many photographs, so much family history. So, I wish these were photographs, these were pictures, but these are actually hand-drawn by my grandfather, who is obviously looking at my grandmother, and that's her there. And these are the testers. I would assume the giant power generators of some sort, and she's testing aircraft engines there for World War II planes. And there's just another picture of her there at the top. Again, these are hand drawn by my grandfather. Hand drawn by my grandfather. So very, very cool family relics. And these are by far my favorite pieces right here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I had to make sure, because some of these are personal letters, but she has these, which are just like my prized possession here, and you can see that these right at the top here, you guys can see these are postmarked 1939. You can see a little 39 there in the middle of the circle. 1939, which is, of course, as many of you guys know, the start of World War II. It was around 1939 that World War II was getting underway, especially in Europe and in France and everything, and Germany, of course, Poland, the surrounding territories. These are letters, just a stack of letters here. My grandmother had a pen pal in France, actually, and there's a picture over here somewhere. Here it is. She had a pen pal in France. This is her right here. And they corresponded, of course, back and forth all through during World War II. And she sent her photographs of the town that she lived in. These are all old photographs, like on postcards from the town that she lived in. Old pictures of her family. Right? These are all real photographs from the 1940s and everything. French movie stars, I would assume, and French personalities, right? All these old postcards from the 40s. This is so great because there are things in these letters, France not being able to have coffee during the war, and my grandmother actually had to send her pen pal some coffee during the war because France didn't have any. And there's all these little cool little tidbits of information in these letters, and like I said, they're just stacks of letters. And these are all relics from the past, guys. 1939. I mean, I showed these to my mother, and she was looking through them, and she's like, I don't know if we should even be handling these. She's like, I think you should call someone at the museum and find out how to properly handle these and properly store these. And I'm starting to agree with her because I'm a little nervous. Yeah, and then you have, these are personal letters here. You guys can see the postmark on that, 1928 postmark on that. And look at the stamp. The stamp, a 2-cent stamp, right? I mean, just relics from the past. And I get to search through all of this stuff and basically catalog all of this information, and what I'm going to do is just put it in a book, and it's going to be the memoirs of my grandmother, of course. I might think of another kind of subtitle for it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, all of this information, look at all that cool stuff, guys. I mean, it's just amazing. I love this stuff. I love to just go through this. So I wanted to show that to you guys today because I thought you'd get a kick out of it. I know a lot of people that watch my channel are in a generation younger than me. A lot of you guys out there are 18, 19, some of you maybe even 16 years old or so. I thought you guys would get a kick out of seeing real relics from the past, actual relics from the past, stuff that you don't normally see every day, stuff that you normally see in museums sometimes, especially all of these old letters and stuff. So I thought you guys would like to see that. And also I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an explanation as to why I'm not really a daily uploader on any of my channels anymore. I used to upload pretty much every day, but normally it's just kind of whenever I can put a video up, and that's because like I said, I've got a lot going on. As you can see, I'm just about to sit down and start going through all this information and start writing. I'm really busy with work on top of all that. But I make time for YouTube. I still make plenty of time for YouTube because I love it. It's really, YouTube has become one of my passions. Yeah, and let me know, guys, if you like this video and you want to see more of this, I'll keep kind of a video diary of me kind of going through all this information, piece by piece, and writing it. I'll keep a video log or something like that, of me going through all that, if you guys want to see that. So if that interests you, comment down below and leave a like, as always. Yeah, now it's time for me to go get ready for work. It's about that time. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day wherever you are. Thanks for sitting down and sharing this information with me, or letting me share this information with you, I should say. And I'll see you back for the next vlog very soon. Later.